Oh, I have him. We kept him. I have him in two of my four leagues. Excuse me, the one who hasn't drafted yet. I think Paddock is in line to become the ace there, right? Am I off on that? I mean, you watch him all the time, I know. So I'll bow to the resident homer. But I do like Bueller. I think that I probably wouldn't take him that early. That's just me. And that's okay. Patrick Corbin, number 8 pitcher. 40 ADP. That's value. Right? So let's compare this. ERA, Bueller and Corbin. Is this a fair comparison? ERA, Bueller 3.26, Corbin 3.25. 14-4 for Bueller, 14-7 for Corbin. 215 strikeouts for Bueller, 238 for Corbin. 104 whip to a 118 whip. Bueller's favor. Here's the difference, though. About 2 rounds. Whereas you can get Bueller in the second, you can get Corbin in the 4th. Not in our drafts. Our drafts are a little different. His ADP is 40.6. That's value at that point. That's the same pitcher. That's the same pitcher. Going two rounds later. So why take Bueller when you can get Corbin? That's the point of this exercise, right? That's why this is fun. Clevenger, number 9. His ADP is 4. Again, Clevenger, number 9. Castillo, number 10 at 42.6. Again, 40, 40, 40. These guys are all lumped together. And then Clayton Kershaw with an ADP of 37.6. You're right, Malpal. I'll give you that. Malpal's saying Corbin's had a few clunkers and Bueller's not had a bad year. Well, the thing is, though, is Bueller's still young. So we'll see. I mean, 180 is a lot of innings for Walker Bueller. Bumping up from, what was it, like 110, I think. Hold on one second. 137. So from 140 to 185 is a pretty big jump for a 24-year-old. Going to be 25. It's all taste, right? I'm not saying one way is right, one way is wrong. I'm just saying if you're looking at it from a pure, so you're taking away a second round bat and substituting it with Walker Bueller when you could have a Starling Marte or I don't know, I don't have it in front of me, a second round value bat in place of Patrick Corbin. I make that substitution every time. Rafael Devers. I mean, that's good business sense. That's how I look at it, right? No, you're absolutely right, and it's a valid point. I'm not saying it's not a valid point. But we could go into that. There's a reason, there's been a change in Corbin that has caused this improvement too, right? So the command of the slider is really what's caused this improvement with Corbin. He seemed to have gotten that under control over the past couple years. I'd say it's like BCAD, like before slider, after slider, right? But it's a good point. So again, and looking at it now, so just like I paralleled Bieber, Flaherty, and Strasburg, looking at it, I did this wrong. Because I got Corbin, Clevenger, and Castillo. What do you guys think about that? I think it's asked backwards. I think it's Clevenger, Castillo, and Corbin. Clevenger, Castillo, Corbin. Those guys are all within 3 picks of each other, ADP-wise. What do you guys think? How do you guys rank those? Corbin, Clevenger, Castillo, or Castillo, Clevenger, Corbin? Give me your ranking of the. It's an interesting. I mean, again, those guys are all. And then I have. So the point is, I have Kershaw behind all 3 of them. I like Kershaw this year. I think he's going to have a great year. But at 37, I think it's a touch too high. George says Clevenger, Castillo, and Corbin. I like it. I like it, George. What else, Doug? Who's second? Okay. And then, here, I guess, here's Clevenger. Yeah. Kershaw behind. I agree. But ADP-wise, that's why I'm saying it's important to do that. ADP-wise, it says otherwise. It has Kershaw in front of those 3. I don't think that's the way it should be, right? And then the last starting pitcher one, in my opinion, and this is kind of it's a little bit of a shot in the dark, but I really like Lucas Giolito. Guys, we forget he was an elite prospect. And he struggled, right? He struggled with Major League Baseball. But last year, damn it, he found his groove. And he showed why he had all that praise. 14-9, 228 strikeouts. More than Kershaw, more than Clevenger, more than Buehler. 3.41 ERA and a 106 whip. Again, his ADP is 56. So if you're pitching anal, if you really want to bone up on pitching, which I suggest you do, that's how I like to approach a draft. Get like 2 to 3 aces and then wait. Giolito is a guy you're targeting. You're talking about a 5th round pick for a guy that had 228 strikeouts and a 3.41 ERA. So I really do think of this. So again, the values of this top 12, and I guess Bernard, welcome. No need to apologize for being late. I appreciate you're here. I don't know who you are, but thank you. I'm sure I know you. I appreciate you being here. So our starting pitcher one. Our starting pitcher one, DeGrom, Cole, Bieber, top 3. Scherzer, Flaherty, Strasburg, Buehler, Corbin, Clevenger, Castillo, we talked about that, Kershaw, and Giolito. You want to, again, just like with the outfielders, you want to get as many of these guys as you can. That's how you do this. You peck off the outfielders and the pitchers, the elites, while they're still there. As important as this first 12 is, though, this second 12 is equally as important. Here you may have to dig a little deeper. Here you may have to work a little harder. But the payoff is worth it. I'll give it to you fast and then we'll talk about it slow. 13, Charlie Morton. Zach Greinke, Chris Paddock, Justin Verlander. Hold that thought. Jose Barrios, Trevor Bauer, Tyler Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Nola, Mike Soroka, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Yu Darvish. I'm already getting it. Shaman, good luck with what, brother? That's fine. That's what's great about this. That's why we do this. Right? We go out, we make these lists. so we can fine tune them. But also because when we draft, you know who you like and who you don't. Charlie Morton, ADP is 52. This guy has been great since he left Philadelphia. You want to say Pittsburgh, but he stunk in Philadelphia too. But boy, he's really been consistent. The last 3 years, he's averaged 15 wins. 15 wins for the last 3 years. His high ERA in the last 3 years is 3.62. 146, 167 and 194 is the innings pitched. He's had 2 seasons over 200 strikeouts. Malpal, listen, don't sign off, please. You're absolutely right about Luzardo. I am not arguing that point. And I'll be honest with you. You're not going to hear him today. But I want to clarify this. When I do this list, it's ADP oriented. So when you talk about a guy like Jesus Luzardo, yes, he's an ace. He's a tremendous, he and Puck both I love. You're trying to freaking side-swipe my show. And that's fine. I don't mind. We can talk about that, right? But Luzardo his ADP is so low. I won't draft him this high because why would you? Why would you draft him in the top 100 when his ADP, as I stall, when his ADP, I love this. I love getting the curveballs. When his ADP is 128. So we're talking about 12th round pick. And I think that's too low. But I guess I have him in my top 20. I have him in my top 36. So we will talk about him. Yep, we'll talk about him. But in this second class, it's not worth. I love these curveballs, Malpal. The second, why reach? I'm all about going around, maybe 2 rounds. I love it. I love it. And you know what? I have him, Malpal, I have him in most of my leagues. I've had him for about 3 years. I've been on, I fancy myself a minor leagues aficionado anyway. When he got traded from Washington to Oakland, that's when I really started to draft him in all of my leagues. And I do. I think he and Puck both are due for great seasons this season. And but again, 125. So I'll put it this way. The 2 guys outside of 100 in this second 12 are Shohei Ohtani and Eduardo Rodriguez. And you bet your sweet bippy, as Lenny likes to say, I'm going to talk about both of those guys, right? And why I value those guys. Just a scotch more. Let's talk about Zach Greinke, number 2 on this starting pitcher 2 list, right? Morton's ADP is 52. Again, that's about a 5th round pick, right? I think that's a tremendous value. I think Greinke's a tremendous value as well. You'll notice I did this as we get on through here. Morton, Greinke, Paddock. Same exercise. How do you rate those guys? Malpal, I know you're not going to have them that way. I'm guessing Malpal's saying Paddock, Greinke, Morton. Just my guess. 52, 53.4, and 56.6 for those 3 pitchers. And then I'll throw a caveat into that.